Hey, what's up guys? Josh Buck here. Hey, let me give a few minutes for everybody else to tune in and then we'll get started. While I'm getting ready, I want you guys to do a couple of things. First, grab a pen and a paper. I'm going to move pretty quickly here, so make sure you have a pen and a paper to take some notes on. I'll pause occasionally and tell you that it's something you'll really want to write down. So grabbing a pen and a paper so you're ready. There are people jumping on right now, so I'm going to wait 30, 45 seconds to allow them to jump on. And in the meantime, I'm going to start my stopwatch. Going to kind of get prepared a little bit. So give me just a second. We'll get going. Going to start my watch here to make sure that I keep you guys half hour to 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you much longer than that. I know that everybody's got important things to do, so I'm going to condense as much information as I can into the next, say, half hour or 45 minutes or so. And that's started. And as people are jumping on, grab your pen and a paper and we'll get started. Today's topic is going to be, of course, e-commerce, but quite a bit of it is going to be on Amazon because it's one of the biggest and fastest growing marketplaces today, but it also gives a lot of the data and research that we need so that we can make educated decisions and we're not just guessing about what could be profitable. So give just a second, guys, and then let's get started. Perfect, guys. About a minute behind schedule now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started now. For those of you tuning in, again, we're going over today Amazon specifically, but e-commerce, Amazon more specifically, because of some of the tools that Amazon provides and because of the place where you can get started. I've always believed that you need multiple streams of income, and somebody asked me a question once, and I love the question. They asked me this. They said, "Hey, Josh, how would you like to make money doing your hobby?" And of course I said, of course I want to make money in my hobby or my passion. They said, "Hey, how would you like to make making money your hobby or your passion?" Well, now that you put it that way, of course I want making money to be my favorite passion. So hopefully all of you guys want to make money in your hobby, but you also want to make making money one of your favorite hobbies or passions. So when I was growing up as a kid, my grandpa and I, we used to always go to yard sales. We'd go to swap meets. Every Saturday was yard sale day. Every Sunday was swap meet day. And it was one of my favorite things to do, to go around, find things that I thought were a prized possession, thought that I could resell them well. And we would buy all of the junk, for lack of a better term, at the auctions and swap meets. We would take them home and once every other year or once every 6 months or a year, we'd have a huge yard sale on my grandpa's property. He built this huge farm that now has boats and cars. Is a massive warehouse that we would stock full of crap, and we would have these yard sales once a year, twice a year, once every other year. Whenever it was all the way full of stuff, we'd have yard sales. And it was fun to see how much money you could make it in the middle. As we advance now through the years, I still love doing that. It's still really fun for me, but instead of making a couple dollars here and there and me making $100 for an entire auction, it's now a full-fledged business where we can make a lot of money. That's because a lot of the tools and platforms that have been provided to us. One of those platforms is Amazon, and Amazon is such an amazing platform because it takes out a lot of the guesswork and it takes out a lot of the risk of a retail business, but it also takes out a lot of the expense and allows us to get to the marketplace almost immediately. One of the first businesses that I owned was a tanning salon. It was a retail tanning salon. When I opened up the doors, all of a sudden I had all of these people coming to me and wanting me to sell lotions and goggles and all of this other stuff. Well, they'd put a lotion in front of me and they'd say, "Hey Josh, this retails for $19.99. You can buy a wholesale for $1." I was all over it. Put $1 in, sell it for 20 bucks. So I bought hundreds of dollars of certain lotions, but I didn't really know what the public would want to buy. I didn't know what they really wanted or how much they would pay for it. And so I would buy a whole bunch of lotions. Still to this day, that tanning salon closed, gosh, 14, 15 years ago. I still have lotion in my garage that nobody ever wanted and bought. That's one of the huge killers of retail businesses, is buying product that will never sell. With Amazon, we have a lot of analytics and statistics that we can run right on Amazon's platform that will tell us how much people are paying for things, how much our acquisition cost is, what our shipping costs are going to be, how much money Amazon's going to take. So it tells us not only what our profitability per item sold is, but how many we would likely sell in a month, so how many of those items we buy, so we don't have that stagnant inventory that's going to crush our business. When I started that tanning salon, I also had the acquisition cost of the tanning salon. I had to spend a whole bunch of money for my website. I had to spend money hiring people. I had to build out my retail location. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to just get started with my tanning salon. Amazon allows almost anybody to get started, not with hundreds of thousands of dollars, but with hundreds of dollars, even tens of dollars. So I'm going to show you guys not only how to get started on Amazon, the tools that they provide, but also the natural progression that most people go through when they get started in a retail location or a retail space like Amazon, how you go from what we call retail arbitrage or the retail space into wholesaling to then white label or private label and onto inventing or building their own brands and products. So I'll also teach a little bit of that demonstration and that movement. I'm not going to be able to go over all of that in great depth. So I'm going to go over what we call retail arbitrage in fairly deep education, and then I'm going to give an overview of the other things, and I'll give a platform for what else we can go into. Before we get started, grab your pen and a paper, and I want you guys to take notes of a couple of things, a couple of terms that I'm going to speak of and use a lot, and for future webinars that you guys listen to in our live question and answer session, I'll refer back to these terms. So the first term that I want you guys to write down is arbitrage. Arbitrage is a fancy word for really business. You buy something and you sell it for more money. The money in the middle is arbitrage. It's not all necessarily profit. Some of it's going to go to Amazon, some of it's going to go to shipping, but the difference in purchase and sales price is what we call arbitrage. So the first way that I'm going to teach you guys today and that we're going to go pretty heavy into is what we call retail arbitrage, where you'll go to the retailer, Walmart, CVS, I go to a place called Long's Drug, you can go right to any of your local retailers, Walmart, some of them that are going out of business, some of them that have clearance items, and some of them that just sell things cheaper, and I can buy those products, take them home, and put them for sale on Amazon. And a lot of people ask me, Josh, why are people going to pay more on Amazon than they would pay going to the grocery store? The first reason is convenience. We all pay for convenience. If I can order something, it can get delivered to my doorstep and I don't have to leave my property or leave my house or get in the car or drive in traffic. People will pay a premium for that convenience. So that's the first reason, is convenience. The next reason why people will pay for it is they know exactly how Amazon works. Amazon has this thing that they call their A to Z guarantee. The Amazon's A to Z guarantee means that they're going to take care of you from A to Z of the buying process, and their customers are their number one commodity that they protect viciously. Amazon caters to the buyer, and so we know what their return policy is. We know not only what the return policy is, we know that more than likely that product, if we buy it from what we call Amazon Prime, we know the time that it's going to be in our doorstep. If I'm in LA, a lot of times when I buy a product, it's at my house within 2 hours of purchasing it. Before I could go to the store, buy it, and be back home, that product is already at my house. If I'm in a little bit more rural area, like when I'm in Utah, my Utah house or my Hawaii place, normally it takes about 48 hours for that product to get to me, but there's a guarantee of when it will get to me, and usually it's not more than 48 hours if I'm buying from what we call a prime seller. So Amazon has their prime buyers and prime sellers. It's one of the ways that they make money. To be a prime buyer on Amazon, there's an annual subscription model. It gives you a lot more than simply buying prime products. It gives you TV, it gives you videos, it gives you movies, it gives you access to some Alexa products. It gives you a lot of value, but it also puts you as a prime buyer where you can go and buy products that are sitting at Amazon's warehouses. It's one of the things that Amazon provides to me as a retail seller is they allow me to use their warehouse to store their product. On the buyer side of things, if I'm buying something prime, it means that Amazon already has it in their possession. So they are the distributor, they are the shipper. We know how long it's going to take from their warehouse, get to my house, and I know that it's going to be in working order or they'll take care of me. Those prime buyers are extremely motivated buyers. There's a huge buyer pool of Amazon Prime buyers that are extremely motivated to buy. Almost 80% of their purchases are all prime purchases. Now, what does that mean to me as a seller, as a business owner, not a consumer anymore? Now I'm going to switch it over to the business owner side of things, not the consumer side of things. As a business owner or as a retail seller, what that means to me is I'm selling to an extremely motivated buyer pool. So Amazon makes money through their prime buyers. They also charge me as a prime seller $40 a month. As paying $40 a month, what it allows me to do is use Amazon's warehouse. It uses Amazon's website. When somebody buys a product, Amazon ships the product. They use their discounted shipping rates. If there are any customer service complaints, Amazon takes care of those, and they charge me as an Amazon seller $40 a month. So that's one of the ways they make their money. The other way they make their money is Amazon charges me 15-ish%. It can go up or down from that a little bit. They charge me 15%-ish of the sales price of the product. So as a seller, I need to find product that I can buy, ship it to Amazon. They store it, keep it in their warehouse. Don't charge me much more for that. When a customer buys it, they ship it out to that buyer. They're going to take 15%. So I need to still be able to find product that still has profit in it after paying all those fees. Now, the other advantage that it gives me if I'm a prime seller is it gives me the opportunity to land in what we call the buy box. Amazon has a way of promoting their most profitable sellers and their sellers that take the best care of their buyers. They promote us to what we call the buy box. When you search for an item, it's kind of Amazon's SEO. When you search for an item either on Google or on Amazon, it's going to bring the product to the top of the list. When you will notice on Amazon, if the buy box holder or the seller that is in the buy box, it will be at the top, and right underneath it, it'll say buy now or add to cart. That's how you know that that's a buy box owner. Amazon only promotes their best sellers to the buy box, and they only promote their prime sellers that have already shipped their product to Amazon. That's all that they'll promote into their buy box. So if I know the algorithms and the process to get into the buy box, I can share a portion of the major sales of that product. Amazon data tells us that 82%, and it's increasing. Right now it's at 82% of buyers all buy from the buy box. So if I'm one of the buy box sellers, I share my time inside of that buy box equally with the other sellers in the buy box. So there might be 50 people that are selling a product, and I'll show you some examples of this through today's education. There might be 50 sellers of a product. Only 3 of them might be in the buy box. So 3 of those sellers are going to sell 80% of the product, while the other 47 sellers share in the extra 20%. I don't know about you, but I obviously want to be in that big push that's selling 80% of the product. So the buy box is something you guys will want to write down and know that that's Amazon's preferred seller. They push me to the top. The other thing that Amazon allows me to do is they allow me to do a lot of underwriting of the product before I even buy it. So I'm able to look at a product and look at it on Amazon, and Amazon will tell me how well that product performs. They identify all of their products to a specific Amazon identification number. They call that their ASIN number. The ASIN number is Amazon's identification number that follows a product. So all of the different sellers on Amazon, if I'm selling this pen, everybody that sells this pen will have the same ASIN number, because the ASIN number, Amazon's serial number, attaches to this specific product. And so write down ASIN number, because we'll talk about it, of how we use that number to track that specific product and its performance on Amazon. The other number that you'll want to write down, or the other item you'll want to write down, is what we call the BSR, or Amazon's best sell ranking. We also call it the sales rank. You'll see it identified as a sales rank. Amazon's sales rank ranks that product amongst not the profitability, but the sellability inside of its category. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of items inside of grocery. If it has a BSR, a sales rank number of 7,000, that means that it's the 7,000th best seller in grocery. So if there's 1 million products in grocery, it sells amongst the 7,000 highest sells. It seems like 7,000 seems like a really high number. It's really not. And I'm going to teach you guys some tools that will show you what that sales rank means and how we can identify how many products are going to be sold in a month, how many of them will be sold to the buy box holders. And so we know how many of that specific product will be sold in a month according to the sales rank. And if I'm sharing the buy box with a certain number of people, I know how many of those products I'm going to sell each and every month. So I know how many products to buy. So I don't have a lot of that extra inventory kicking around. I like to buy 90 days worth of the product. I don't like to buy more or less than that. I buy 90 days worth. I send them all to Amazon. I start watching my metrics. When I know that product is getting down low, then I replenish to 90 days worth of more product. So I know I'm not overbuying. Even if the market changes, I'm still going to sell out of all of my product. And then there's another term that you guys need to write down, FBA, stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. What that means is, I've already kind of talked about it and brushed on it. What that means is that Amazon is holding my product in their warehouse and it's fulfilled by Amazon. They're going to ship and distribute my product and they're going to take on the customer service of it. Amazon has what they call their A to Z guarantee, and the buyer knows that if it's an FBA product, a Fulfilled by Amazon product, they know they're going to be taken care of. If it's not an FBA product, if it's going to be fulfilled by seller or seller fulfilled, that means that the buyer and the seller need to communicate together, and there's not a lot of recourse if they don't take care of the buyer or they don't take care of the seller. So it's kind of like the eBay platform. I prefer to sell 90% of my product as FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. So there's one other term. I have this written down on my little note that I want to make sure that you guys understand. It's called gating, or it's a restriction. We'll talk about it briefly. There are category restrictions and there are brand restrictions. And so some of the items I'm going to show you guys today that I personally sell or that are sellable on Amazon, not everybody can sell. You need to either get the brand's release to be able to sell that product or Amazon's permission to sell that product. We'll teach you guys in future webinars how to become unrestricted or ungated so that you guys can sell that product. Now, each of those things, the BSR, the sales rank, the ASIN number, the gating process, we're going to talk a lot more about that. So future education is going to be about those specific items. But today I'm going to jump right into what we call retail arbitrage and how you're going to use that in your business. So when a lot of people get started in this business, and a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't have the type of money to jump into business. They don't have tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started. They don't have the type of money to go out and buy $10,000 of product to sell it cheap. And not only do they not have that amount of money, if you buy the wrong product and you spent $10,000 of it and it doesn't sell, it can sink a lot of people's ship before it even sets sell. So it's one of the things that I truly love about Amazon is you can get started with very little money, and I'm going to show you how to get started with very little money through this process. So somebody comes to me and says, hey Josh, I don't have a lot of money, or I don't have a real palate for risk. How do I get started in this industry? So the easiest place to get started is what we call retail arbitrage. What retail arbitrage means is you're going to go down to your retailer. It's going to be Walmart, it's going to be Shopko, it might be Kmart, it might be Walmart, it might be when somebody's going out of business, it might be Long's Drug. You're going to look for product at those places, and you're going to find product that sells for significantly more on Amazon than what you're buying it for. Now, there are a number of reasons why people pay more money to have it shipped to their house. The first, as I already mentioned, is convenience. The second is because of scarcity. There's a number of products that I'm going to show you guys, and I'll tell you kind of how we stumble across some of these. There are specific products that are only sold in certain geographic locations, and they're not sold nationwide or worldwide. One of the things that I'm going to show you guys here in a minute is I was up in Canada walking through Walmart, caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, wait a second, that's Big Mac sauce. I love Big Mac sauce. It'd be great to be able to make my own Big Macs with sauce. So I bought it because that night I was going to barbecue, and so I wanted to put on my own Big Mac sauce on my hamburger. I just had the thought, I wonder how much this sells for on Amazon. So I looked it up on the sales tool. I'm going to show you guys how to use this. I looked it up on the sales tool, and I saw that it was selling on Amazon for around $12 or $13, while I could buy it at Walmart for like $3, $4 Canadian. So after I paid Amazon and everything else, there's still $3 or $4 to be made, almost 100% return on investment. Of course, I went all in and I bought a whole bunch of what they had, shipped it home, sold it on Amazon. I'll show you how that worked. My son, he sells on Amazon. When we moved down to California in 2014, he went in and there was some Captain Crunchberry cereal, and it was like $3 for a box. We didn't think anything of it. We just bought a couple of boxes, brought it home. As our friends were visiting us as we were in California over that summer, some of his friends were saying how good it is. They went back to Utah and couldn't find it in the store. So they went on to Amazon to look, and they called up Cortland, my son, and go, hey, Coco. We call him Coco, sorry, yeah, that's his nickname. Hey, Coco, how much do you pay for that cereal, that Captain Crunchberry? We are looking at it here on Amazon, and it's $15 a box. Cortland goes, it's a normal price, $2, $3 for a box, maybe $4 for a box of it, normal everyday price. They couldn't believe how cheap it was, so naturally Cortland goes, hey, Dad, would this be something that I would want to sell on Amazon? Absolutely. He had to become unrestricted. He had to get Amazon's permission to sell that because it's a grocery item. So they want to make sure that they're taking care of their buyers and getting something that's not counterfeit or toxic. So he had to become unrestricted in both the brand and and Amazon to have permission to sell it. Once it become unrestricted, he went and bought every grocery store out of the item and sent them all to Amazon. And it's something that he replenishes every week or 2 weeks because there's huge profitability of it. So I'm going to jump right into this and show you how it works. So the first item I'm going to show you guys, it's a, I have an Airbnb. I have a little property over in Hawaii. So let me show you guys this product that I bought. It's Kona coffee. So Hawaii is really, and hopefully you guys can see this iPad, Hawaii is famous for their Kona coffee. And so we went into a place called Long's Drug. Long's Drug is Hawaii's version of CVS. And so when we're walking through, we noticed this Kona coffee. Now, if you can notice, I don't know if you can see it there. You can see it fairly well. Kind of blurred background. You're going to see this is the best performer. It's vanilla macadamia nut. If you look here on the receipt, they charge me $3.99 per item. So I was all in at about $105. Very little tax in that. Like, what is that? A couple percent of tax. So I was all in at $104 to buy 25 boxes of different types of coffee. So everybody, what I want you to do when we get off this is download what we call Amazon Sellers app or Amazon Sellers tool. So I'm going to show you that tool. It's this tool here. If you look at it, that's what it looks like there. When you open up that tool, what that does, and I'm going to back up so we don't jump into it right away, this allows you to scan items to search for them. Now, there's a number of ways that we can do that. There's the little camera thing up here, and if we touch on that camera, then it allows you to scan the product, and using either the recognition of the shape of it or by using the UPC code, it will pull the product up on Amazon, and you can type in the price and it will tell you the profitability of it. It'll tell you all the other tools. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. So instead, you can look at the scanned products that you've already scanned before, and that will pull it up. Just waiting for my hotel internet. So this is all the things as I'm walking through stores that I'll scan, or I can simply type it in. So I'm going to type in here, it's the Hawaiian Isles. And to make it faster so I don't take your time as I'm typing, I'm going to go into the history. It's what I searched real recently before doing this. So we were walking through Long's Drug. We found this Kona coffee. If you'll notice here, it's selling on Amazon for $11.97. Amazon's going to take $5.14 of that for a gross proceed amount of $68.83. So if I click on that button there, it will take me over to the next page, and I can either click, well, whether I'm going to send that product out and fill in numbers, or Amazon is going to send that. So I type in here, it already tells me that Amazon is selling that product for $11.97. Amazon is going to take $5.14 of it, leaving a 10%, and then 10% for me to ship that product to Amazon. Now, I'm going to be buying hundreds of these, putting hundreds in to one box and sending it to Amazon. In a future webinar, we'll teach you guys how to ship and distribute this product. Now, I paid $3.99 for that item, leaving me a profit of $2.74. So I paid $4, I made $2.75. Now, if you guys want to run what type of return on investment that is, go to your calculator and type in your profit of $2.74 divided by your investment of $3.99. That's a 69% return on investment. It's astronomical. Now, it's a great return on investment if it sells, but you want to know if it's going to sell and how quickly it's going to sell. So on Amazon's Sellers app, if you'll notice here, it tells me right here that there's a BSR or a sales rank. It says a number of 8,809 in grocery. The other number that I look at here is it tells me there are 3 sellers selling this product FBA, meaning they're fulfilled by Amazon sellers. They'll share a portion of the time in the buy box. So I'm one of the 3. So there are 3 of us that are in the buy box. So I'm going to give you guys some tools here. There's a tool, it's not endorsed by us, it's not made by us, it's not a product by us, I have no reason to sell it, but I use it. There are a couple other tools that you can use, but I use one that we call the Jungle Scout Estimator. So let me go to the Jungle Scout Estimator. Jungle Scout is a product, it's one of the products we'll teach you guys how to use over time here. So I go to the Jungle Scout Estimator. And what I do here is I type in the sales rank. It was 8,809 in the United States. And the category is grocery. So I calculate the sales inside of that industry. There are 360 of these products, and that looks like it's reversed for you guys, so I apologize, but that's 360 of these items that sell each and every month. That's in one of the products. So if there's 360 of these that sell, 80% of those are going to go to the buy box. A little over 300, maybe 320 of them will all go to us buy box holders. There are 3 of us. So if there are 320 that are selling in the buy box, we're going to say 300 and go on the lower end of that because the math is easy. That means I personally will sell 100 bags of coffee each and every month. If I'm selling 100 bags each and every month, that means that a 90-day supply would be 300 bags, and it's going to be very easy for me to go through that number. I can also monitor it on a weekly basis and make sure that I didn't overbuy, and if I did overbuy, I can stop buying as much in future months to come because I can start monitoring my own personal sales. So if I'm going to sell 100 bags of that, and I buy 100 bags for a month, at $4, that's a $400 investment that month. My profit, so I'm going to get back the $400 each and every 30 days, plus I'm going to get back a profit of $274. I'm making $274 a month with 1 bag of coffee. If you'll notice, in that shopping cart, there were 3 or 4 different kinds of coffee. I found 3 or 4 different coffees that were all making me around $270 a month. That was $1,000 per month income right in my shopping cart. Now, some of you are saying, yeah, but you had to buy the whole shopping cart. If I only had $5, I buy 2 bags. Send them off to Amazon. I make $2.74. Now I have $10 the next time I go and shop, and then I have $15, and then I have $22, and then I have $35, and then I have $50. It's how you can grow from very little money and having quite a bit of money pretty quickly using a term that we call compounding interest. Compounding interest is the power of your investment to make interest or to make a return on not only the investment but also the return. And so I buy $10 worth, it's now worth $12.74. I invest all $12.74, now it's worth $16. I invest all $16, now it's worth $22 or $25. I'm doing quick math, but by reinvesting the money that you make on profit, that little bit of money that you started with in Amazon can grow extremely quickly. Now, Amazon has a couple of ways that we can do this. As I showed you, they have the sellers tool that Amazon provides to you for free, whether you're a Fulfillment by Amazon seller or you're a regular seller. Well, it will tell you how to run all of the equations to determine the profitability of an item, how much money they're going to take, how much money you're going to spend, and how many of those items you'll sell in a month, so you make sure that you buy the right amount of product so you're not overbuying with stagnant inventory, and you can make your money work for you as far and wide as you can make it work. Now I'm going to show you another way that we do it. This was in Long Drug. It's a little tiny store, so I went and was able to just scan a handful of items. As I'm at stores and I'm bored and somebody else is shopping, my wife's shop, whatever, I'm scanning product to just see how profitable I can be. It's kind of fun for me. It's a hobby. It's like taking me back to my grandpa days when I used to mull over the yard sales and I used to be able to negotiate for items. Now we're going to still show you in future webinars, if you love yard selling, how you can use that. And we call it flipping product, a lot like flipping houses, where you find an item, you buy it, you take it back, you put it on eBay, and you can still flip those products. I still love doing that. It's still really fun for me. I was just in Hawaii and found this Rocky doll. I spent $6 on it, selling for over $100 on eBay. Huge return on investment, but that takes a little bit of knowledge on what items are likely to sell and how much they'll sell for and what they're going to cost to ship. So it's not as easy as what Amazon provides for me. That's kind of a hobby where Amazon provides the tools to where this can operate as an actual business. So let me show you on my iPad another item that I found. Now I was in Canada, I've got to unlock it. I was in Canada and I found, as I mentioned it before, I found this Big Mac sauce. So this is a little slideshow that I put together. I'm not going to spend the time to make it look all fancy. I'm just going to show you guys. I just downloaded these so you could see it. So here's the Big Mac sauce. So you can see the Big Mac sauce here. The Big Mac sauce sells for $12.95. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, if I'll make it. Sells for $12.95 in the U.S. market. So you can see they also have the Chick-fil-A, they have the fish fillet sauce. So I'm walking through and I see this and I'm like, wait a second, and I pause, right? So I'm looking at it going, this is $13, or I could buy it for $3, I want to try it, look it up on Amazon, it's selling for $13, I scanned it with the tool, saw what it could sell for, saw what my profitability would be, so I bought a whole ton of them. So when I took that over to Amazon, let me show you the next slide and what it means to me. I can get it to switch. So this is the receipt that you can see. Gosh dang it. This is the receipt that you can see that's showing that I bought it for $3.97. Now that's Canadian, so doing the math, that's about $3 US. Now if you'll see the numbers here, when you put it in the cells in Amazon Sellers app, it tells you that Amazon takes about $3 of that, leaving me a net profit of $4.36. That's over 100% return on investment. That's like 110% return on investment. Now Amazon running the sales rank on Jungle Scout tells me that a little over 1,200 of those will sell each and every month, leaving a $5,515 profit, net profit. What that means to me is that this is total what Amazon is making. It's not my profits, it's Amazon's total profits. It's all of the sellers combined. There are about 50 sellers selling this specific product. So me being one of the buy box holders, I'm one of 3 buy box holders on this item. Well, actually I was the 4th. So there's 4 of us that are capturing about 80% of that. So there's about $1,200 that are going over to the other 46 sellers. There are 4 of us that are sharing about $3,300 on that one item. So I'm making just under $1,000 a month on that one product. It's a huge way to get started in this industry, but it's pretty cumbersome if you're walking through a store as big as Amazon and scanning each and every individual product. So what we're going to show you guys over the weeks to come is how you're going to use tools. This is one of the tools that I use. This is called OEX-Ray. There's a number of other tools, Jungle Scout. There's a number of other tools where you can go to a website like Walmart, pull up that product, compare that product automatically over to Amazon's product to the store where you're shopping, and then it will show you all of the other major retailers, including eBay, so you know where you can buy that product for your maximum profitability. Whether the product's on sale or it's simply always priced at that, it will show you what products can be profitable. Now, the natural progression of this is you're going to get out there and be scanning products. It's a lot of work because every day you're going out scanning products, finding items, and buying them. Once you have $1,500 to $2,000 saved that you can invest in Amazon products, this is when you can run a real business and it can really start to get profitable because we naturally progress into the next phase of this business, that we call wholesaling. As I'm out there flipping these products and I'm scanning them and I have $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and the reason that's a magic number is because that's where I can buy in bulk, so the acquisition cost gets cheaper. On the Hawaiian Isles coffee, once I know that it's a profitable item, what I want to do is replace Long's Drug. I want to cut them out of the middle because they're taking, not only are they taking what their profit's going to be, but there's also an expense to ship it to them, for their distribution channels, to pay for their employees. There's a lot of expense that they have in there. So if I can cut them out of the middle, there's another large chunk of money that I can make in the middle. So as a business owner, what I then do is look to replace Long Drug, cut them out of the middle, and go to distributor direct. And so then I want to go to the people that are producing or that are shipping that product to Long's Drug. There are a number of different events that happen across the United States that we're going to be at. We're going to take some of you on those trips. We're going to meet with you, walk you by the hand, walk the aisles, negotiate, find the product, show you how to negotiate, show you how many of those items to buy. Now there's some risk involved because you're buying $1,500 a product. Instead of buying 100 bags, you're going to be buying 1,000 bags of an item. So there's some added risk in there. You want to make sure that you're buying the right product. So there's an event called ASD. It's in Vegas twice a year, but there's another one that I love going to. It's in Chicago. It's called TMC. It's the Merchandise Center. It's held every 6 weeks. And so once you have 1,500 or 2,000 items, you can go to one of these wholesaling events. And there are other ones throughout the nation. You can go to some of these wholesaling events, and at the wholesale events, you can cut that middle guy out of the middle. You see the name brand products. You see your name brand coffees. You see your name brand mugs. You see your pens and pencils and party supplies and Paw Patrols and all of these other things for sale. And you can cut the middle guy out. So you're not going to Walmart and buying it and then listing it for sale on Amazon. You're buying it direct from the importers that have brought it over from overseas or wherever they brought it from. You're buying in wholesale. Now you're not making a 25, 30, 45% return on investment. You're making 100%, 125%, 150% return on investment on that specific item. So as we're going to teach you guys in future videos how you run a wholesale business, after you find the products that are profitable, how you replace that middle guy, how you underwrite the items, determine what the right sales rank is going to be, determine what the right profitability is going to be, determine how to find the wholesaler and how to replace that guy in the middle. Now, I actually tried doing this with my Hawaiian Isles coffee. Here's what's kind of funny. I went to Hawaiian Isles direct. They're over on Oahu. I was over on the island, called them direct, started negotiating, sent them an email, went through the channels to get authorized to be one of their distributors. As a distributor, they wanted to sell it to me for more money than I could buy it from Long's Drug direct. Long's Drug is losing money on each and every bag of Hawaiian Isles coffee that they sell. It's one of what their kind of doorbusters are. They're always priced at $3.99. They're trying to get people in and lose a little bit of money on that coffee because it's a hot item, knowing that they're going to buy a whole bunch of other stuff inside of the store. So I decided not to be a wholesaler of that specific item. I buy it direct at Long's Drug because I get it for a much cheaper price. But there are a lot of other items. There's a little towel that I got. There's some camouflage items. There's some weather items. There's some farm utility items. There are some farm products. There are a lot of different items that I go direct to the distributor of them for, replace the middleman, and I save on shipping costs. I save on distribution costs. I make the money that they would have made. But if I'm dealing with the right guy and I communicate right, they don't have to send it to me, and I don't have to do all the work of putting on that ASIN number onto the product, packaging it how Amazon wants, and shipping it to Amazon. They take care of a lot of that for me. So it's something we're going to teach you guys of how to become a wholesaler and how to cut out that middle guy. Now, naturally, you're going to find some of those things that you love and that are doing extremely well as a wholesale product, and you want to, again, cut out that distributor. So you're going to go direct over to the manufacturer or to their distributor, the manufacturer's distributor, which is where we use. I'm going to give you guys two websites right now, so get ready to write this down. We use two different distributors. There's one that we call Alibaba. You've probably heard of them. Now, the negotiations and how you find the product and how cheap you get it and quality control, it's a huge issue. So we're going to teach you how to source that product, how to find it from a distributor over in Asia, wherever that product comes from, and use either Alibaba or another one, HKTDC. Those are a lot of the two major wholesale distribution centers that we use to then cut out the US middleman and get it sent directly to us, where then we can even cut another set of shipping costs out of the middle, another profitability where we can retain that. So naturally, after you replace them and you start selling the product direct, you're going to find products that you love that are selling extremely well, and they're going to be name brand products with name brand recognition where people are already searching for them, but you want to create your own product. So we're going to introduce you direct to the creators or the manufacturers to where you can make the exact same item, cut the middle guy out of the middle, take off that name brand, and now you can keep all of that money. So instead of it costing you a couple dollars for one of the items that I'll talk about, they're called bear claws. They're for barbecue. They help you tear off the meat, pick it up off the grill. So they're shaped like a bear claw. You hold them in your hands. The name brand of those items cost me about $1.50 a piece. When I white labeled my own, they have my own brand name on them. They only cost me 20 cents a piece. Now I have to spend some time and effort and money building up my brand name, letting people know that I'm out there, letting them know that my quality is high and my price is a lot lower. I have to build up my reviews on Amazon or on social media so that my social proof is there, so people know that they're getting a quality product. So there's some time and effort that goes into building that business. I continue to sell the name brand item while I'm building my business, and then I look to sell less of the name brand item and more of my own to replace that product line. So now I have my own name brand item. And then if there's a flaw in that you see, a lot of us will then move into inventing that item, but it's really expensive to invent items here in America. If we take that over to some of the places where manufacturing is extremely inexpensive, they can do it for pennies on the dollar from what it costs me. But then there's a whole other platform of the pictures, the listing, the how you get your name out there through SEO. On Amazon, the pictures will push you to the top. There's some SEO, search engine optimization, in the pictures themselves. There's what we call the title, where there's how you title it appropriately to maximize your searches. There's the verbiage underneath that. And then there's the copyright, which is where a lot of the search engine optimization works, where somebody types me into Google or Amazon search engine and it brings me to the top. So the natural progression of this is you get into retail arbitrage, you find an item that you really like, you then source that item from a wholesaler here at one of the events like ASD or TMC. As that product continues to grow and you become extremely profitable, you cut them out of the middle, but then there's an increase in the volume you need to buy, and you go direct to their supplier over in Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, or some of these companies that are really strong in their production. We then find that it's still extremely profitable, we're making a lot of money. We start to build our own product and build our own brand name while we're building our reviews, and we decrease the sales in the specific brand name, or we keep them both high and we make money in both platforms until we reinvent that product. And we can really maximize our profit because we're cutting all of the middle guys out of the middle, and it's our own brand. Now, it's one of the ways that you can really make this an extremely profitable business. So I'll leave you with this little tidbit. When I was younger and I was building businesses with my wife would build a business, and when she'd get the business built and become profitable, all of a sudden she would sell the business, and I couldn't understand what she was doing. Now, I fly a lot, and when I fly on some of the flights that I have, there's free internet and I can watch some movies. And one of the things that's usually on is Shark Tank. I always let it play in the background as I'm sourcing product, as I'm working, as I'm trying to find white label products, as I'm building my Amazon business. I have Shark Tank playing in the background. As Shark Tank is playing in the background, I always hear, and I'm going to ask you this question and pause for just a second. Who's your least favorite guy on Shark Tank? 90% of you said Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful always in his negotiations asks for something. He asks for what we call a royalty. So he wants to buy the product or invest in the product and collect just a little bit of money on each and every item. Once you guys have created your own brand and it's selling extremely well, that leaves you a profitable brand that you can sell for a ton of money. So you can cash in on your business endeavors, but this is where true passive income comes in. You sell your brand, but you continue to collect a small royalty on every single item that's sold. So now on every one of the bear claws that's sold, I can collect 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, but I have no obligation to run that business. I don't have to find the product. I don't have to list it for sale. I collect true mailbox money, true passive income. This is one of the holy grails, if you will, of business, is to make money without putting in any time, money, or effort. It's an infinite return on investment, and it's truly where we each want to get to. Now, guys, I'm about out of time here. I'm bumping up against that 45 minutes. So I want you guys to make sure that you take what you've learned, download the Sellers app, start using it, start scanning items, become familiar with it, learn where the best sellers rank is, learn what it means, transfer that over to Jungle Scout and learn what that means. Learn what the profitability would be, how many of those items you would sell. Start analyze your products, and so you know how this works. As future webinars roll out, when we start talking about these items, you'll know what we're talking about. You're familiar with them. So each and every week you can take what we teach you and you can put it into action. For the amount of money that you guys invest, the $4.95 that you guys invest in the webinars and all of the education that comes along with this, you can make that money back literally within weeks, if not a shorter time frame, if you'll take what we teach you, put it into action, and start making money immediately. We're going to teach you each and every step in bite-sized pieces so that you can apply it on a weekly basis, and you can make money, you can get in the marketplace, you can invest in your own business, and you can grow as we progress through the webinar series. Guys, it's my pleasure to be here with you guys tonight and talking to you guys. Make sure that you guys put into practice what we have. Don't let it become stale. Don't forget it. Don't put it into the back of your mind. Put it into practice so it becomes part of your, forget the word right now, basically part of your memory function, so it's just second nature. Put it into practice. Start making money immediately. Making money is motivating. Making money is inspiring. Get out there, inspire yourself, make some money, put it in your pocket, continue to invest in your education, continue to further your process. I can't wait to see you guys at some of these events like TMC or ASD down in Vegas. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys next week. And hey, don't forget, guys, if you guys have any questions, write them down. If you guys have a question that you want specifically answered for you, write them down, and during our live question and answer session, we'll answer those questions for you so that you can have specific answered for your specific product in your specific market and your specific situation, so you don't have those questions unanswered. Make sure you write them down and tune in to our live question and answer session. Again, guys, great being with you guys tonight. 45 minutes. I'm out. Hope to talk to you guys soon. We'll talk to you later. Have a good evening. Make some money. Bye-bye.